When you stop chasing the wrong things, you give the right things a chance to catch you. Lolly Daskal. My friends, you learn what the wrong things are by practice trading, by being with us 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. I hope I sound better today. Been having some lung problems here lately. You guys were with me when we went through the COVID thing. I think I only missed a day during that. Hadn't missed anything this go round, doing a little bit of traveling and a little bit under the weather, which is not the way to travel. But I'm back ensconced in the seat here at the world headquarters of Charting Wealth. It's great to have you with us. Markets are all down by the end of the day. We can see in the morning where things had popped up on the S&P 500. We'll go through these other charts as we make our way, starting with the 195-minute chart, then the 2-day, then the weekly. By the way, Patreon members, we released to you last night the weekly vertical crossovers a little early, plus our charting cryptos and commodities using that 3-time frame chart, which I hope you get a lot out of, including both volume and candles. I find it extremely helpful for me to see right there on one screen all 3 of our time frames instead of going through them individually. I'd wanted that to happen for a while, and of course, what's so fabulous about TradingView is so much of this stuff is so easy to do. So check that out. Everybody else will be releasing that tomorrow afternoon so you can watch Charting Cryptos and Commodities. Now, let's see what's going on. As we got to the end of the day, we had some up movement in the morning, really a green spinning top, up and down movement. But then in the afternoon, things just rolled over. Still in a red down move we can see on the S&P 500 here at SPY, down 0.86%. We're above the 200 EMA, so we're not looking for a down move. How did this affect the 2-day chart? 2-day is still green, but look at that green spinning top. We can see, again, all that upward movement has come crashing to a halt. Now, the market could be digesting that and getting ready to move up again because we haven't gone from green to red on the STC as things did before, but that could be happening. If we check out the volume, you can see, however, how the volume has dropped so much. We can see on the prior 2-day candle, lots of volume previously, right there at average volume. I say lots of volume, average volume, well below average volume here. So we can't tell from the volume as to whether or not the market is just, it's more likely that it could be digesting some of those upward gains, getting ready to move up again, because if the insiders were selling out all of their inventory, that is the market makers clearing things out, then of course what we would expect to see would be a high volume of sales. So we're not seeing that, which again could mean that the market's just digesting those upward gains, getting ready to move up. So keep our eye on things. That's just the 2-day chart. And again, what we try to do is, of course, assess individual charts and then put them all together when we look at the weekly. Again, you can see where it's weaker this week, candles smaller, and we're not reaching as high a high as we had last time. And again, we're above the 200 EMA, still green. So we'll keep our eye on things and just see what the market is going to do. Down for the day, 0.87% on the S&P 500. Let's go to the NASDAQ 100. Again, we will start with the half-day chart. Very similar to the S&P. You had some up movement in the morning, then crashing down in the afternoon, down about the same 2.88% above the 200 EMA. We're red on the STC. We look at the 2-day. It's stalling out right there at the 200 exponential moving average. Now again, green spinning top here. Let's see what our volume is there. Also, but you know what? I didn't take into account. Caught myself here. The reason we have so much less volume is because it's the first day of the 2-day candle. Okay, so what I said before, again, let's reevaluate that. It's only the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It's sort of like judging the weekly candles volume at the beginning of the week. We want to judge that at the end of the week. So again, it is less than half of that prior candle's volume. So that tells us a little bit, but we'll see what it looks like when this candle finishes drawing. The reason I say that, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you can see where it says Thursday on the 2-day candle. Well, that of course tells us that it encompasses Thursday and Friday. So we're only halfway through. So I will, again, we'll keep an eye on this, sort of see where that's going. We look at where the volume is on this chart, still low, but still we're in 4 days of a 5-day week. See how high the volume was last week, which one would expect with the high that was reached in the big green up candle, smaller candle this week. And we'll see if we end the week with much less volume than where we were before. But we've pushed through successfully the 200 EMA. So going back to the half-day chart, maybe what we'll see happen now that we've gone to red, we want to see that cross all the way through this gray period between these two lines, this gray area, come out the bottom, and then, like we saw before, turn from red to green and move up, which would give us an opportunity to jump into a successful up move. We shall see. We see a better one here where that happened on the S&P. Went from red to green and just right up on it. And of course, we rode that up and did quite well on it. So we'll be watching, waiting, seeing. Let's leave stocks now. Move to bonds. Bonds, very interesting. Hammering up in the morning and then blowing that off in the afternoon. Look at all that volume with that red spinning top. All that volume with that red spinning top looks to be telling us that, again, we've got all this volume and we don't have much of a candle there. We can see that, of course, price has been driven down and then back up. Not a lot of down movement in price, which could mean you've got insiders really selling and others buying, hoping that's going to be going up. So we will keep a close eye on how things go tomorrow. We look at the 2-day, and of course we can see again a green spinning top. This is based on where things closed on the prior day. I'm sorry, not a red spinning top with a green volume meter. And again, just halfway in that, we can see how volume's been decreasing. But again, these aren't really big candles. We look at the weekly, and we can see on the weekly chart where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, and then things just started moving down. We're below the 200 EMA, but still green on the STC. So again, we're also green on the STC on that 2-day chart. The only one going down is the half-day. So we'll continue to watch how bonds are moving and where they are going. A little scary, though, with that up move in the morning. Now let's go to gold. I say scary as, you know, with the current down move that we were looking at. So where do we see gold at this point? Of course, we had that big down move in gold last Friday. And then what happened with gold? It just sort of petered along this week sideways. And now we can see where we've gone and touched that bottom and pushed through it a little bit in the afternoon, down 0.79%. Gold is still red on the STC. It's above the 200 EMA. Hoping to see gold turn around and move up. Of course, what we have working against us is the fact that this 2-day isn't a confirmed down move simply because you have a red STC. There we are above the 200 EMA. So we're going to have some real energy to pull both the 2-day and the half-day around. Weekly's not gone negative yet on the STC, but it has on the candle. Started with a red spinning top and moved on over, going down this week. That was last week, the red spinning top. This week, we're going just a little lower than last week, but with a big red down candle. And of course, nothing on the upside there. So gold, again, trying to trend down. So we shall keep an eye on things. What do we want to see happen? Of course, we'd like to see gold turn around. We're still positive on the STC. We'll wait, watch, and see there. Lastly, We go to Bitcoin. Where is Bitcoin? Down 3.61%, really blowing off the top that it had recently reached. We could see that real acceleration in volume back last Friday morning, and then the volume really slowed down in the afternoon, dropped down, and then, of course, as we've watched the week, we saw things really plummet on Thursday. In the morning started, and in the afternoon, really a hammering down. So we'll see where Bitcoin is going to go. Still above the 200 EMA on that half-day chart. We look at where things are on the 2-day chart. We can, of course, see where it peaked and is rolling over at this point. I'm hoping that we're going to have a nice pullback on all these charts, well, particularly on the 2-day and the weekly, to reset our STC so that we get it reset, maybe hitting another low here and then bouncing off of that, clearing this high area right in here around the 24.15 mark, something like that, something around the $24 mark, blasting through that after resetting the STC, giving us a much better feel for some continued up moves. That's where we are, folks, as we end the day. So appreciate you being with us. We love to hear from you. CW, excuse me, CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.